What's my fantastic squad? It's your boy SatAttack with y'all see a title, man. We got a long, interesting video, man. Dangerous kids react to life sentences. And you get life sentences as a kid, you deserve it, because you did something crazy to get life sentences as a kid, bro. Like, what? Bro, 2K help, bro. You already here. At least hit the like button if you're not gonna stay. If y'all gonna be some haters, if y'all gonna be fake, at least hit the like button, bro. Like, don't be fake, though. Hit that subscribe button.
We'll go to trial, and if you're
I've seen this guy before.
of felony murder, you'll go to prison for the rest of your life. That means you'll die there. That's what I'm tempted to do.
Oh, he's get it.
At 16, you knew not to keep pounding your fist on that pillow with that little baby's head there. That little boy had to be terrified.
Yeah, like, yeah, bro, the crimes y'all be doing, and then y'all be crying about the sentences, bro. It just.
I didn't mean to kill Austin. Actually, I really didn't. Face the judge. I really think I did that. I didn't mean to hurt him.
Okay. I doubt that they give him life for that.
He is pure evil, and evil can never be rehabilitated.
Oh. You must imprison this killer for the rest of his life.
A ninth grader who's in court for murdering his 24-year-old school math teacher, Colleen Ritzer, on October 22nd, 2013. Colleen was known for her dedication to her students, and on that fateful day, she was 24? Colleen was known for her teacher, Colleen Ritzer,
my bad.
who's in court for murdering his 24-year-old.
Oh,
Colleen
she's
was known
so young, 24, bro. I'm 22.
Like, for her dedication to her students, and on that fateful day, she had asked Chisholm to stay after school for additional lessons. Little did she know that her kindness would lead to a horrific end. Chisholm came prepared with a knife, a change of clothes, and gloves. He followed her into a restroom where he took her life. His brutality didn't stop there. He robbed, assaulted, and abused her. Afterward, he disposed of her lifeless body by placing it in a garbage bin and dragging it behind the school. In a futile attempt to cover up his crimes, Chisholm went into town and used Ritzard's credit card to buy a movie ticket. However, he was traced down and arrested by the police the next morning. He still had Colleen's blood on his hands. While the magnitude of Chisholm's...
Bro, they're all... My fault. I'm gonna be pausing a lot because of the crime that these boys about to be doing. But you did all that, but you still have blood on your hands, bro. Not even that, but the fact that he went through all that trouble, bro, said... Bro, buy extra clothes, buy a weapon, bro, took a credit card, used it downtown, wherever, around the city, bro. Bro had this plan, bro. That was premeditated.
His courtroom behavior will leave you in disbelief. Philip Chisholm faced multiple charges, including murder, aggravated rape, and armed robbery. Throughout the court proceedings,
bro, she's 24, bro. She probably just got. My fault. I'm sorry. But she probably just graduated like a couple years ago. She finally probably got a job. She finally probably got into teaching like actually full time. Like, you gonna do that? That's crazy.
His demeanor and actions demonstrated a complete disregard for the gravity of his crimes and the immeasurable pain he had inflicted on Colleen Ritzer's family. Even in the face of a touching tribute by Colleen's brother.
Put this animal behind bars for the maximum possible sentence. Do not give this coward the opportunity to shatter another man's life.
Chisholm remained cold
someone like that and walk around casually?
His attorneys claimed that he was mentally unstable, but that didn't work. In February 2016,
you don't go through all that mentally unstable, bro.
For the murder
it was premeditated like a mother.
They set a parole eligibility date of 25 years, the highest level our law allows.
However, while Chisholm's reaction could certainly be dismissed as an effect of a mental illness, the same can't be said for the case of 19-year-old Brandon Spencer, who allegedly started shooting at a crowded Halloween party on the campus of the University of Southern California in Los Angeles.
Oh, you deserve the worst one, but I hate people, bro. Y'all ruining stuff because y'all want to shoot. What y'all doing?
4 individuals were injured in the shooting, but fortunately, there were no fatalities.
That if you are so intent on killing someone that you're willing to shoot them
and at the same time opened fire into a crowd.
Following the shooting, Spencer was detained by the Los Angeles Police Department for questioning. A couple of days later, he was charged with 4 counts of attempted murder. The prosecution argued during the trial that the shooting was the result of an ongoing feud between Spencer and a rival gang member, noting that Spencer himself was a documented and well-known gang member.
I'm not a bad person, but I made mistakes. But I'm not just some gangbanger that she tried to betray me as.
Despite the horrifying nature of Spencer's offenses, his actions during the trial managed to shock everyone present. Throughout the trial, Spencer maintained his innocence, but the jury disagreed. Spencer also pleaded his case. The judge sentenced Brandon Spencer to 40 years to life in prison for the 4 counts of attempted murder. When Spencer heard his sentence, this was his reaction. However, while Spencer's behavior raised eyebrows, it's nothing compared to the explosive actions of 15-year-old Conrad Schaefer during their trial.
This was a 15-year-old who was out semi-automatic rifle shooting up.
Schaefer shocked Osceola County when he and his friends began randomly shooting at the residence.
Why you want like that, bro? People that want like that be making me laugh, bro. They be trying to act so hard walking like that, bro.
Resulting in the tragic death of 17-year-old David Guerrero, who
was
on his way to work. Before the shootings, Schaefer had persuaded his father to purchase a .45 caliber Hi-Point carbine and 100 rounds of ammunition. He allegedly took the gun from his house while his father was asleep, marking the beginning of the neighborhood's nightmare. Conrad Schaefer and 3 of his friends, David Damas, Victoria Rios, and Juan Muriel, terrorized the community for 2 weeks. They even invaded 22-year-old Eric Rupnarin's home and fatally shot him. During his trial, Schaefer had this to say to the families of the victims.
15 at a time, I'm really sorry for the things I've done. And I know I did wrong, and I know my apology don't mean nothing to you. And I know it ain't gonna change how you feel about me.
Families of Eric Rupnarin also seem to agree.
Eric was my grandson. He was my helper to me and my wife. At this time, my family and I had no intention to forgive the guilty because of such a heinous and brutal crime that was done to my grandson, Eric Rupnarin.
Schaefer eventually pleaded guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder, with over 22 incidents of gunfire damaging homes and vehicles. He was sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences, with the judge stating that if Schaefer had been just 3 years older, he would have received the death penalty. However...
Wait, what's the point of having 2 life sentences? I think I heard it somewhere. I forgot what it was about, though. Like, people had like 5 life sentences, 2 life sentences, 1, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Schaefer isn't alone in their courtroom actions. Let's not forget the infamous incident involving 15-year-old Martise Fuller, who's facing charges including murder in Kenosha County, Wisconsin.
I stopped in my doorway, and I looked at him, and I said, "Oh my God, Martise." I said, "Please, you don't have to do this." And he looked at me, and he said, "Yes, I do."
Fuller broke into his ex-girlfriend's house with a handgun. He fatally shot his ex-girlfriend in her bedroom while she was listening to music. Her mother, who rushed to the scene upon hearing the gunshots, confronted the assailant and was shot twice, but survived. During the trial, he showed little emotion. Fuller pleaded not guilty, but the jury ultimately found him guilty on 3 counts.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of first-degree intentional homicide.
At his sentencing, Fuller, perhaps for the first time in the courtroom, displayed some emotion. However, he continued to assert his innocence.
I really got no more for anyone
expressing his apologies to the family.
Anyone that just cried like this starts crying for sentencing.
Martise writes, "Wholeheartedly, I wanted to write this giving my sincerest apologies to this family."
Bro, stop the cat, bro. Stop it, bro. Like, stop it.
I once shared time and love.
Why did he talk? Why did he say something?
I am sorry about the pain you've all suffered through this.
Cat.
But more importantly, the loss of my ex-girlfriend, Kaylee, that
like,
I loved too.
That.
So I am sorry. Despite the hatred that is against me, I still am sorry. But I have to continue to stand innocent because I am. And I know that I've barely showed emotion throughout my time, but in all honesty, it is because it's hard to have tears left to cry knowing my mom lost a son, one of her children too. But I am sorry, and I hope you all can eventually see in your hearts and vision that I am not the person the media has made me out to be.
The judge, however, wasn't convinced that Fuller could do better in the future.
You are a very dangerous and a damaged human being. So in the interest of protecting the public, acknowledging the seriousness of these acts, the court orders that on count 1, you are sentenced to life in prison without eligibility for extended supervision.
Despite the gravity of his sentence, Fuller appeared largely unaffected. However, as we saw Fuller's unconcern with his sentence, it brings to mind the strikingly similar response of Jennifer Mee.
When I walked up, I was to the corner. I heard the first gunshot. After the first gunshot, I ran.
At 15, Jennifer Mee became popular as the Hiccup Girl due to her sudden bout of uncontrollable hiccups. She even appeared on shows and events. Eventually, she was cured, and her popularity ended. But Jennifer wasn't satisfied. She needed the fame. So she and her boyfriend, Lamont Newton, and another friend, Lauren Rayford, set up a robbery of victims she had met online. The trio lured a 22-year-old man to a vacant home where they robbed and fatally shot him, taking $50 as the reward. As if Jennifer's offenses weren't enough, her demeanor in court will leave you dumbfounded. At 19 years old, she was arrested on charges of first-degree murder. During her trial, this recorded call she made to her mother while in detention was played for the jury.
Hello? Hi, Mama. Hello, Jennifer. What's going on? I'm in jail. Why are you in jail? From, murder in the first degree. Who'd you kill? I ain't killed nobody. It all went wrong.
My fault, but imagine being a parent and you get a call like that, bro. Your heart gotta be in your buttocks, bro. Like, what is going on? What is your thought process, bro? You pick up the phone and they said, bro, Pops, I'm in jail for first-degree murder, bro. Oh, hell no, bro. What the hell? I don't even know what I would. Like, there's no thought process they could go through. Like, what would you
Jennifer
be doing?
was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Jennifer's
Like,
co-defendants,
what the hell did I
Rayford
go
and
wrong?
Newton, were also sentenced to life imprisonment for their roles in the murder. However, when emotions run high in court, the actions of Jennifer Mee and Alyssa Bustamante leave us questioning sanity itself.
Was her throat cut? And Alyssa said yes. And that's when the grandmother broke down and began crying.
Alyssa Bustamante was a troubled 15-year-old girl who lived with her grandparents and siblings in St. Martins, Missouri. On October 21st, 2009, Bustamante lured her 9-year-old neighbor, Elizabeth Olton, into the woods behind her house. She strangled, stabbed, and slit the throat of the innocent girl, then buried her in a pre-dug grave.
I just wonder what it would be like just to kill someone. See the life just drain out of someone. I wonder.
She then went to a church dance as if nothing had happened. If you thought Bustamante's crimes were reprehensible, brace yourself for her shocking conduct during the proceedings. The police found Olton's body 2 days later after Bustamante confessed to the murder. She was arrested and charged with first-degree murder and armed criminal action. She pleaded guilty to a reduced charge of second-degree murder in exchange for avoiding a trial and a possible life sentence without parole. At her sentencing hearing, Bustamante apologized to Olson's family and said she regretted her actions. However, the judge was not moved by her remorse and sentenced her to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 35 years. She will be eligible for release in 2054 when she will be 60 years old. However, let's compare the jaw-dropping reaction of Bustamante to the astonishing behavior of 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz.
I've heard this
My
guy.
name is Nick, and I'm going to be the next school shooter
Yeah,
of
yeah,
2019.
we watched it. We just watched it
My
a
goal is
couple
at least 20
episodes
people
ago.
with an AR-15 and a couple tracer rounds.
A gunman who carried out
We
the
seen this the
deadliest
other
high
day.
school shooting in U.S. history. Cruz killed 17 people and wounded 17 others at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, on February 14th, 2018. He used a semi-automatic rifle that he had legally purchased a year earlier.
I came out and asked him, what are you going to do with the rifle? And the reply was, I go shooting with my friends on the weekends. I just want my own stuff.
Despite the horrifying nature of Cruz's offenses, his actions during sentencing managed to shock everyone present. Cruz was arrested and charged with 17 counts of premeditated first-degree murder and 17 counts of attempted first-degree murder. He pleaded guilty to all the charges, admitting his responsibility for the massacre.
What's going on today, bro?
The demons, man.
Demons?
Voices.
Voices and demons?
Where's the voices? Where am I? Holy what happened?
The jury could not reach a unanimous verdict.
Thank you. Thank you. Whoever told that boy, bro. Thank you, bro. Like, stop the BS acting, bro. You're not a good actor. Stop it.
Cruz. As a result, he was automatically sentenced to life in prison without the possibility.
People like him deserve the word, like people that be doing shooting. Like I think I said in my last video.
He was also sentenced to an additional 34 life sentences for the attempted murders.
Don't know what those are for, but I love it.
Attempted an apology.
I am very sorry for what I did, and I have to live with it every day.
Oh no, you gotta live with it. What about the people that you know what I'm saying? Like people that you killed, bro. Like, oh, I gotta live with it. Oh, boo, bro, you the one who did it. Like, bro, what?
I'm gonna try to help others, and I am doing this for you, and I do not care if you do not believe me. And I love you, and I know you don't believe me, but I have to live with this every day.
Cruz showed no remorse or empathy for his actions, and instead wore a red prison jumpsuit, glasses, and a mask. He even laughed at one point during the proceedings. Cruz's lack of emotion and his escape from the death penalty outraged and disappointed many of the victims' relatives who had hoped for a different outcome. However, while it was clear that Cruz didn't care about the years he was going to spend in jail, his behavior in court was very different to that of 19-year-old Keandra Cook, a high school student who used a dating app to set up a robbery scheme with her boyfriend, Kendrick Bass. Cook lured Perry Nida, a Palm Coast man, to a secluded spot in South Daytona, where Bass and others attacked him and his friend, Emmanuel Purcell, who had accompanied him. Bass shot Purcell in the chest, but luckily he survived. However, what Cook did in the courtroom was even crazier. Cook was arrested and charged with principal to carjacking with a deadly weapon and principal to aggravated battery with a deadly weapon.
Give all 3 charges, sentence you to 20 years in state prison.
That's gotta be a past worst nightmare right there.
Cook was later allowed to withdraw her plea and cooperate with the state to testify against Bass, who was also charged with attempted murder. She entered a new plea deal and received a reduced sentence of 11 years in prison and 20 years of probation.
You got good in you, and I think you got potential. Don't lose sight of that.
She apologized to the victims and their families.
I'm sorry to
However, this wasn't the only time a convict freaked out during their sentencing. Take, for example, the case of 18-year-old Donta Wright, a teenager who was involved in the murder of Jordan Klee, a high school student and athlete in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Wright and 2 other youths planned to rob Klee of his drugs, clothes, and shoes, but Klee fought back. Wright then shot him in the back of the head, killing him instantly. Just when you thought Wright couldn't sink any lower, his behavior in the courtroom will leave you stunned. Wright was arrested and charged with felony murder.
Damn, why you going angry, my boy? This is a picture. Relax. This is a mugshot, my boy. Like, chill.
To commit
relax.
armed robbery,
so angry?
Felony firearm possession. The family of the victim read a very emotional victim impact statement. But this is how serious Wright felt about their pain.
Sincerely hope that whatever it was you wanted so badly that you felt the need to murder my son was worth the next at least 52 years of your continued existence. You won't get the luxury of raising your child because you took mine away.
When he was called to address the court, Wright shocked everyone.
I'm gonna tell y'all, I'll be home soon, bro. I'll be Keon. I love my family.
That's all you got to say.
Wright showed no remorse or empathy.
Like, how do you think he's gonna be home soon, bro? How does he think he's gonna be home soon, bro? Imagine, bro, I hate to be like a lawyer for someone like this, bro. How do you think you're gonna be home, my boy? The way you act and all that, what you, bro?
That's all you got to say.
Wright showed no remorse or empathy for his actions. His attitude in court shocked and angered the judge and the victim's family. The judge reserved some choice words for him.
I'm very tempted to just say I'm not going to accept this sentence agreement. We'll go to trial, and if you're convicted of felony murder, you'll go to prison for the rest of your life. That means you'll die.
Is laughing, stupid fuck.
That's what I'm tempted to do.
Wright was eventually sentenced to 25 to 52 years in prison for his role in the murder.
Mad.
He told me to hear it. I didn't want to, but I didn't want him getting beat, so I hit her.
It's nothing compared to the explosive actions of 13-year-old Antonio Barbo and
Antonio,
14-year-old Nathan Pop.
what's going on, Nathan?
She said that she's gonna have to call Antonio's mom, and Antonio kept looking at me, and then he hit her in the head.
In September 2012, Antonio and Nathan conspired to and brutally murdered Antonio's great-grandmother, 76-year-old Barbara Olson. The kids bludgeoned her to death using a hammer and a hatchet, then stole her purse. What's even more chilling is that after committing this heinous crime, they used part of the stolen money to buy marijuana and pizza.
We were gonna try to scare her to get money and then use force if needed.
When you say use force if needed, was there a discussion about what type of force you might use?
An attack, I guess to kill.
During the legal proceedings, Antonio Barbo changed his plea from not guilty by reason of mental illness or defect to no contest, reaching an agreement with the prosecution. However, he was very remorseful.
I know I don't show my emotions much. I myself am not sure why. But that doesn't mean I don't.
What's happening?
Nathan Pop also had some things to let off his chest.
I just want to say that I'm truly sorry for everything that happened.
However, despite his plea and expressions of remorse, he and Nathan were sentenced to life imprisonment.
Nice.
They were both remorseful as they left the court.
Dummies.
However, just when you thought you'd seen it all, another convict surpasses Antonio and Nathan's wild courtroom display.
As I approached, I got closer, I saw her really sniffing at a particular area, so I pulled her back, and when I looked, kind of second-guessed myself, I thought I saw a dead body, but I wasn't too sure, because, was missing some limbs.
Enter 18-year-old Matthew Borges, who is facing a murder charge for the beheading of 16-year-old Lee Valoria Paulino in December 2016.
Beheading?
Borges and Paulino...
Oh, relax bro, bro. Bro, beheading is crazy. Bro, they in the guillotine, bro. Use the guillotine or why you
High School and had reportedly smoked marijuana together in November 2016, which was the last time Paulino was seen alive. Paulino's body was discovered by a dog walker near the Merrimack River 2 weeks after he went missing. The details of the scene were chilling. Listen as the dog walker explained what he saw.
As I approached, I got closer, I saw her really sniffing at a particular area, so I pulled her back, and when I looked, kind of second-guessed myself, I thought I saw a dead body, but I wasn't too sure, because, was missing some limbs.
At first, Borges was not considered a suspect, but the tide of evidence began pointing unmistakably in his direction. During the trial, prosecutor Jay Gabito argued that there was an overwhelming amount of evidence incriminating Borges. The allegations against Borges were disturbing. It was suggested that he had stabbed Paulino multiple times before decapitating him. When the verdict was delivered, Borges displayed an eerie lack of emotion.
That the defendant Matthew Borges is guilty on the charge of first-degree murder.
Eventually, he was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life imprisonment, with the possibility of parole only after serving 30 years. However shocking Borges' reaction to his sentence was, how does it compare to the reaction of 16-year-old Dylan Schumacher, who was in Buffalo, New York courthouse?
16-year-old blonde. All I have to do is cry in front of the jury, and they're going to feel sorry for me.
On charges of second-degree murder. In March 2013,
you wouldn't cry when you were doing your
Schumacher was
little crime.
babysitting his 18-year-old girlfriend's child while she went to work.
Wait, hold on.
Schumacher was babysitting his 18-year-old girlfriend's child while she went to work. He was inside a Springvale home shared with his parents. Tragically, that evening, Schumacher beat the 23-month-old Austin to death. Following this horrifying incident, Schumacher was arrested and charged with the murder of the toddler.
I'm sorry, I know I'm pausing a lot, but you got the audacity to do what you just did. 23-month-old baby, and you got the audacity to cry about it? Bro, what? What is you crying about, bro? Do you not know what the hell you just did? You should be worried, bro.
Along with child abuse charges, Schumacher claimed he didn't intend to harm the child or cause his death, stating that he was trying to get the child to stop crying.
So you just kept beating him?
You knew not to keep pounding your fist on that.
You shouldn't even do that one time. What the hell? You shouldn't even punch a kid one time. What are you talking about?
He had a hard time breathing, and then you repeatedly punched him so hard as to cause his death by bleeding on the brain.
If you thought Schumacher would be remorseful for his crimes, you're wrong. As Schumacher entered the courtroom for his sentencing, he couldn't even get settled behind the defense table before breaking into tears. That's right. Schumacher expressed how sorry he was for his actions.
What the hell,
I would give my life for Austin.
Alright, go do it. Nah, you can't do it. You can't bring
The
it
judge
back.
wasn't
Do
fooled.
it.
The
Yeah,
judge pointed out a recorded
I
phone
mean, you
call
gotta be a
between
fool to fall for
Schumacher
that
and
foolishness.
his mother.
The record will show that you admitted that on July 23rd, 2013, in a phone call to your mother from the holding center, you stated, and you got a quote from the court reporter, "I am a 16-year-old blonde. Probably all I have to do is cry in front of the jury, and they're going to feel sorry for me."
Despite his second attempt at an apology, Schumacher was handed the maximum punishment of 25 years to life in prison. However, this sentence was later modified to 18 years to life.
Why?
However, while some may attribute Schumacher's reaction to juvenile delinquency, this is 18-year-old Shondell Jackson.
Why did they do that? Bro killed a 23-month-old.
Was facing charges of murder in the Milwaukee County Courthouse. Jackson and his friend were out to rob when they crossed paths with 21-year-old Nathan Potter, a University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee college student, heading to his apartment. The friends approached Potter, demanding money, but Potter was only a student and had no money. When Jackson realized Potter had no cash to offer, he shot him, killing him. After the murder, Jackson fled to Mississippi, but was ultimately arrested, thanks to a tip from his uncle.
I don't have enough time to think about a whole lot of things now, because you just can't take nobody's life. You know, that's just wrong.
As if killing someone at 18 was not outrageous enough, Jackson's actions in court were even more dramatic. During his trial, Jackson's actions in the courtroom drew attention. Here, Jackson is gesturing towards the victim's family, totally unremorseful about his actions. Jackson was quickly escorted out of the courtroom, but as he was leaving, Jackson flashed a disturbing smile toward the...
I'd probably charge his, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd probably charge his ass. If I was one of the family members, bro, you smiling at me, bro, after what you just did, yeah, I'm rushing it, bro.
Family. Now, at his sentencing, Jackson's mother had an opportunity to address the court.
When I saw it on the news, I even cried. I'm like, oh my God, I can't imagine what that mother is going through. I never had a clue that my child had anything to do with it. My son is not a monster. He is not a monster.
When Jackson was given the opportunity to speak, Jackson surprised everyone.
Apologize for my behaviors.
Oh yeah, but you're smiling and doing all this nonsense.
That's right. In a last-ditch attempt to save himself, Jackson pleaded for leniency and offered an apology for his actions. Now it is time for the judge to deliver his sentence.
The need to protect the community, which I also fear for with Mr. Jackson, and I am going to sentence Mr. Jackson to life imprisonment without possibility for extended supervision. I know that is something that is reserved for the
you ain't
most
laughing now, you
cases,
stupid. You dummy, stupid.
Jackson was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. But when Jackson heard that he would be spending the rest of his life in prison, he couldn't contain his emotions.
Dummy. Get him out of here,
Deputies had to intervene, restraining Jackson as his anger flared. Once again, Jackson pushed this cop over. Fortunately, this cop was able to wrestle him to the ground, while this officer here unbuckled his pepper spray and put it to work.
Is Shorty over here have a gun? That boy could easily grab the gun if he really wanted
remark for the Potter family. Eventually, Jackson was led out of the court to spend the rest of his life behind bars. But Nathan Potter's parents had a few things to say.
Our little girl was afraid. She was afraid that he was going to try and kill one of us.
I hope that as he spends the rest of his life in jail.
Jackson's friend and accomplice pleaded guilty to acting as the lookout in the crime and received a 12-year sentence. Despite the terrible behavior of Shondell's family in court, the uncle who tipped off the police maintained his stance despite threats. However, this wasn't the only time a convicted kid freaked out during his sentencing.
Your son is the victim and the killer is your granddaughter. Can you talk about that?
Wait, hold on.
The victim and the killer is your
son is your victim? Your granddaughter?
Granddaughter. Can you talk about that? She's not my granddaughter.
Take, for example, the case of 16-year-old Sierra Halseth and 18-year-old Aaron Guerrero.
Where did the evil come that was bred into a soul that murders their own father?
Who are facing multiple charges, including murder with a deadly weapon, arson, robbery with a deadly weapon, conspiracy to conduct robbery, and multiple counts of fraudulent use of credit or debit cards at the Regional Justice Center in Las Vegas. The teenage couple murdered Sierra's father, 45-year-old Daniel Halseth. They stabbed him over 60 times and attempted to burn his body and house. Then, they took his debit card and fled to Salt Lake City, indulged themselves, and opened a YouTube channel where they callously shared information like this.
Day 3 after murdering somebody.
Whoa! Don't put that on camera.
The teenagers dated in 2020, but their parents did not approve of the relationship.
Yo. I'm laughing at that. People really think this is normal. Like, bro, they really got the camera and talk about, bro. Like, what be going through people's minds is crazy, dog.
Forcing him to end it. On April 9th, 2021, Daniel's lifeless body was discovered in the garage of his Las Vegas home. The teenagers were subsequently apprehended in Salt Lake City. Throughout the court proceedings, the behavior of Sierra was starkly different from that of Aaron. Aaron Guerrero seems to be emotionally breaking down. When he was allowed to speak, he had this to say.
I ask for forgiveness and I get sentenced today. And I hope
you ask for forgiveness the day you get sentenced. Sure, bud. Sure, bud. We're gonna buy it. We're gonna buy it. Keep playing that little act that you're going through. Make you look kind of dumb.
Meanwhile, Sierra Halseth appeared disinterested, bored, and detached from the gravity of the situation.
Yeah, send her
she
to
claimed that her father had physically and sexually abused her.
He locks me in place and starts pushing me and hitting me around.
Eventually, they were both found guilty by District Judge Chiara Jones.
55 days credit for time served. That is a total aggregate sentence of life in the Nevada Department of Corrections with the possibility of parole after 22 years of service.
In order to pay $5,000 in restitution. For Sierra's grandmother, a lot has changed.
You're in a tough spot because your son is the victim and the killer is your granddaughter. Can you talk about that?
If you thought these reactions were shocking, you'd be amazed at this video. The top 5 biggest judge explosions of all time.
Oh, that seems like a lit ass video too. Hey, courtroom consequences. Check this channel out. His videos gonna be. Hey, yo, we're gonna have to subscribe to this. Alright, that's do it for that. If you enjoyed that, subscribe and road 2K, man. That was 32-minute video. That was a good ass video, bro. I ain't gonna lie, but we out, man. If y'all still here, shout out to y'all. I'm pretty sure none of y'all are here because y'all fake as hell, but we out.